I was on a bus and there was this really fat blueberry girl. And I was in my chair and she came down the aisle next to me and she pushed all of her upper pussy blubber on my arm and her crotch was all into me. I said, "Get off me. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Please stop, please stop." And I got so pissed off because she kept pushing the into me. I got up and I started rolling her. It's like that movie. I started rolling her down the aisle, her whole big blueberry. And then what happened? Then she tried pushing back at first. Then she rolled, was dramatic. She fell on the floor. I pushed her away. And then I kind of felt bad, like pushed her off the bus. I'm like, "Get off of me." I just pushed her off the bus. And then I got back in my chair. I felt kind of bad. I was like, and everyone's like, I didn't like her either. I'm glad you. I was like, what the heck? They like all got happy that I did that. They all got happy. Everyone on the bus like congrats. I had a dream. I was wandering in the forest, in between all the trees. I looked at the ground, just exploring. Look at the ground. I see a tiny picture of myself. It scared me. I had a dream about a one-eyed dog. Okay, I had a dream. My parents set up the neighbors to call the police on us because my parents did something bad. I don't know what my parents did. And they were trying to cover it up with the neighbors calling on us. So they told me to hide because the cops were coming. My dad pretended to be asleep and my mom pretended to go on her computer. And then the police came into the house and they saw me first. He came up to me and put his gun under my ribs. And I instinctively was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then he pushed me to the ground, put the gun to my head and said, "Do you want to die?" And I said, "No." And then he started talking to my family and interrogating them. I was talking to a tree for a while, and the tree was thousands of years old and responded to any question I asked it in less than 5 words. And it was somehow always correct. Then I walked away from the tree and I saw a pit in the ground like this, and it had walls coming up and then walls coming in like this. And then right in the middle, there was a platform. I jump in the hole just to see. I'm like, what's this? All these demon dogs come out. I get on the platform. I try to jump to that. I hit my head, miss, lay on the ground. The dogs bite my head off. Then I respawn, and I gotta go home. So I don't know how to go home. I call an Uber. The tree is in the Uber with me. The tree's in the Uber with me, and I don't know what happened next. Like, oh, we had a telepathic conversation in the back seat. Yeah. I was waiting for the tram at night, but all the trams were different numbers. I walked over the curb and I heard someone's voice from down below. And I looked down and I realized I stepped on a black cat's tail, but the cat could talk. The cat got up and started pacing around me saying, "Oh, there's so many people out tonight. Come here, let me get a good look at you." And he put his two front paws up on my knees and he looked at me. "Yeah, you're cute." I was like, "What?" Then he said, "I've been studying sociology for hundreds of years," as if he's alluding that he's been alive walking the streets of the city for hundreds of years. And then he just went around and went on to the next person. So I met like a jester, infinite jester cat. And holy crap, this one. I'm in the mall with my dad and we're walking chilly, not even talking. And we see an altercation ahead of us and someone has a gun holding a hostage and they're holding them around the neck and the person's trying to break free. The guy breaks free from the gun person and then the person with the gun's like and starts shooting at him running away. This is in a mall, I think. And then the gunman's like, "Shit, my hostage got away." And then the gunman's running closer to me as a girl. And then she's panicking like, "I'm about to get caught. I'm about to go to jail. I don't know what the fuck to do." And she just starts fucking shooting at me now. She just doesn't know what to do. She's panicking. And then she was like trying to kill herself. And then she's shooting at me. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then she came at me. And for some reason, I had a knife in the dream. I just killed her. I just killed her in the dream. Because I don't want to get shot. So I just ran up to her and I stabbed her in the chest. Okay. Then I ran away from the scene and I changed floors in the mall. And I realized, shit, maybe she didn't have any bullets left and I killed her for nothing because I wasn't going to get shot in the head. But then I didn't know if she was going to even bleed out because she like hit herself with bullets. And I was wandering abandoned floors in the mall and I was wondering, am I going to go to jail? Because I just like tried to defend my life. Yeah, and then I regretted it and I felt bad. And then I woke up, I'm like, good, I didn't do that. Dream about eating dinner with two girls. We were discussing things and paper crafting together. But then the one girl kept accidentally like on accident like 100 times. And I got uncomfortable. I'm like, do you need paper towel? I kept going back. She's like, I just can't stop. I was like, holy crap. What? Okay. I had a dream I was on a bus and a homeless drunk crackhead goat was on the bus and he literally was a zombie. He was old and had cuts on his hand and his hand was falling off and bloody and green and dirt all over half his. He comes up behind my seat. I'm like, don't touch me. Please do not touch me. Then he starts touching me and I start freaking out and I really didn't want to do anything. I'm like, please do not touch me. And then he kept touching me, getting closer, like putting his arms around me and shit. And I'm like, stop. And I get up and I push him away. I shove him away. And then he tried to come at me again. But then I remember when my friend taught me how to body slam someone. And I remembered it. And then I body slammed the zombie into the ground. Wait. 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 He front kicked me. I caught his foot. Then I was holding his foot, like he's kicking me. And I turned around and I went, and I slammed him, front flipped his whole body over my body. And he came down so hard on the bus floor that he died. Then I started crying because I didn't want to kill him. I just didn't want to turn into a zombie. And I was crying so hard. And then the whole bus evacuated because there was zombie caca all over the ground on the bus. And then I was crying so bad and everyone had to get off the bus. I felt so bad. I caused a commotion. Everything was so terrible. And then someone came up to me and was like, don't cry. It's like, why? Like, don't cry. You're good. I'm glad you did that. I was like, how? I killed someone. She's like, I never liked him. None of us did. I was like, what the? So in a more spiritual, this one I had a recurring dream. It was like a 2-part dream. I'm in my old house and I can't sleep because there's something running around and it felt like, I couldn't see it, but it felt like a muskrat, a cat, a vole, something weird, something with a long tail, kind of gross, kind of slimy, kind of no good. And it was keeping me up and I couldn't sleep for days. I was getting pissed off. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, get the hell out of my house. And then the dream continued different month, week, I don't remember how long later. And then I was in a different house and I hear it again. I'm like, this is pissing me off. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's coming around the corner. It's coming closer, I hear it. And then it was a fucking tiger. It was a massive tiger and it came by and it jumped out the window, broke the glass, flew out the window. Then a little, that vole animal that I was thinking about came behind it and it jumped out the glass out of the house with it. And I was like, what the hell? You've been disrupting my house. It was disrupting the house because no one could function normally. And I ran out after it. I'm like, I gotta kill this thing because it's been ruining my family for years. It's been ruining like my sleep, everyone else's sleep, everything. And I chased the little one out because the tiger was gone. I threw a rock at it and I hit it and I stunned it. And it was like a cat. And then it crawled up against the wall of the house. I'm like, I gotta do it. I was like, oh, should I do this? I was like, I don't know. And as I was deciding, this is like a biblical ass moment, it transformed into a person. And I was like, oh, whoa. And I put the thing down. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because I didn't think you were a shapeshifter. And it was a girl, changed into a girl. And she was kind of young. She had tan skin and like long black hair, kind of wearing some robe. I don't know. And I'm like, what are you doing in my house for years? What are you doing? And she's just like, I'm the spirit that follows X and YZ family member in your family. I was like, dude, what? And I'm like, what? Prove that. What are you talking about? And she's like, okay. She's like, it's just what I do. I don't know. It's just what I do. She's just acting like that. She's like, I don't know. It's just my job. I don't know. It's what I've been told to do. I was like, what are you talking about? And she took me to XYZ family member. There's 2 of them. And I was like, how did you allow this? Because this has caused problems within something with familial relations. And I was like, what are you doing? You allowed this? You allowed this? I'm not saying this is literal, but I was like pissed off. I was really mad because that was years of my sleep, years of rest taken. I don't think this is literal, but and then the tiger actually ended up showing up in the form of an old woman, kind of looking like her mom older, the tan woman with long hair. There's an old woman, wrinkly, tan, and she was the tiger, and I didn't really talk to her. I don't know what she was up to or who she follows, but I think it's just my brain creating reasons for what has happened. But don't take it too literally, but I just think that's one of the craziest stories my brain made. Okay, this one's so bad. My whole family in the family room, my entire family, everyone I know, look through the sliding glass door, guy with a gun shoots all of us, we all die. Okay, I didn't die. I didn't die. I ran out of the house because I think I was somehow surviving some of that shit, and I ran out, and I kept running, and then I kept hearing gunshots, because I don't know what to do. Like you couldn't even save half the people because they just died. I looked back, him in the window, sniper, right here, clips my neck, and I'm not joking. I felt the blood. I could feel it gushing out of my neck, all down myself, and the way I was sleeping that night. I was laid on a pillow, kind of sitting upright like this, and I just like felt heat here. I was like, and I like literally woke up like that, and I'm like, holy days! Like I actually felt the blood coming out of my neck. We all died, and I got shot in the neck. This is terrible. I don't okay. I had a dream. I was watching a baptism. So basically, it was like this canyon-ish lake. It was like a little ravine, and there's a lake here, and then there's like a rock where you could jump off into the water. And there's a guy stripped down, ready to go swim, and then the priest, had his back to the water, and then the priest was in front of him, wearing all black. It was kind of like futuristic, all black. And then there was some priest helpers in the water, also wearing all black, waiting for this guy to fall in. And then he just pushed him in. Then he fell in the water, but he didn't swim. He like allowed himself to drown because he knew that he would be saved by the priest helpers. And then the priest lifted him up. Like he basically just went limp in the water, and the priest lifted him up and brought him to the shore. And he laid on the shore on a stone in fetal position until he fell asleep. Kind of good. I kind of like that dream.